Thank you for tuning into Firebase Prime, your source for tips, tricks, and tutorials to make your life in the Fallout 76 wasteland just a little easier. Tune in every week as I take a deep dive into new Fallout 76 topics, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos drop. Also, if you have a specific topic that you'd like me to make a video about, let me know in the comments down below. With the Legendary Run season now being live for over a week and a clearer picture existing of what the daily and weekly challenges for the remainder of the season are most likely going to entail, I wanted to provide you with some tips and tricks to get the most out of Fallout 76's inaugural season. I'll be doing a more detailed overview of the season in an Update 20 video scheduled to go out later this week, but in a nutshell, daily and weekly challenges now award score points. As you gain more score points, you increase in seasonal rank. Each rank unlocks a new reward that can be claimed by visiting the Legendary Run progression screen, accessed from the main menu or in-game menu, and there are 100 total ranks in all, which you'll have until September 7th to unlock. Throughout the course of this video, I'll be referencing a chart created by LifeGuru, hope I'm saying that right, that shows the minimum seasonal rank that you'll need to reach by the end of each week to stay on track for reaching rank 100 by the season's end, as well as data derived from their spreadsheet that goes into substantially further detail. Both are amazing resources, and I'll provide links to them in the description down below. But without further delay, let's get into it. Tip 1. Stack XP bonuses relentlessly. While the ease of initially ranking up may make it seem like getting to rank 100 will be an easy task, don't let the initial speed fool you. Each rank requires more score points than the last to reach, and the season has been designed so that missing any of the daily or weekly challenges will put you behind. There is no room for breaks, make no mistake. Like most events in Fallout 76, this is a grind. At the end of the day, even if you complete every daily or weekly challenge, you're still going to be required to grind out a ton of XP over the course of the season to finish on time. According to LifeGuru's chart, in addition to the other challenges, you'll need to complete the repeatable weekly challenge 16 times each week to stay on track. Given that it didn't change between weeks 1 and 2, it's safe to assume that this repeating challenge will continue to be earning 10,000 XP. That means that each week, you'll need to grind through 160,000 XP at the very least, in addition to completing all other challenges. If you're like me and avoid most of the nuclear winter challenges, that number is likely closer to 300,000, as the only way to make up for incomplete challenges is through the same repeating weekly challenge. With that in mind, save yourself some time and take advantage of every XP bonus that you can get your hands on. This includes consuming prepared foods that provide XP bonuses, equipping a leveled inspirational perk card while on teams, occasionally sleeping to achieve the temporary well-rested or lover's embrace perk, and strategically using public teams. Keep in mind that when consuming foods, unlike chems, you can stack the effects of different recipes and aren't limited to only taking advantage of one bonus at a time. Also, if you plan on sleeping for an XP bonus and have a romanced ally at your camp, make sure to sleep at your camp instead of in your survival tent, as you will only receive the Lover's Embrace perk when sleeping in the same camp as the romanced ally. Tip 2. Use public teams to your advantage. Unless you're in a private world, you should be on a public team at all times, ideally one that you're the team leader of so you can easily switch between team goals. I'll be providing a more detailed overview of public teams in the Update 20 video, but for the purposes of seasonal grinding, the only team goals that matter are the hunter and event goals. Given that many of the daily and weekly challenges for the season revolve around completing events or killing legendary enemies, being able to switch between these two goals will allow you to rack up extra XP on things that you'll already have to do to advance in the season anyways. I would recommend creating your own team whenever you log in, and switch between the hunter and events perks as needed for the extra XP. Even if no one else joins your team, you'll still get 25% bonus XP for either completing events or killing legendaries, so you don't really have anything to lose. Even if someone joins, given the tweaked teammate rules for public teams and PvP changes implemented with Update 20, they won't be able to mess with your camp or draw you into PvP, so there's really no reason to not be on a public team. Tip 3. Plan out a loop for XP grinding. Keeping in mind that you'll need to grind out at least 160,000 XP each week during seasonal play, it's safe to assume that you're going to be spending a lot of time over the next several weeks mindlessly grinding XP after completing the other challenges. To optimally achieve this, you're going to need locations with a lot of high-level enemies to jump between. If you're looking for recommendations, I'd highly recommend checking out my past video called 3 Best Places to Grind XP and Legendaries in Fallout 76. Even though the video was produced prior to the Wastelanders release, these locations still hold up, with a possible exception being the Glass Caverns, which, at least from a looting perspective, was sadly nerfed upon the Wastelanders release. For my seasonal grinding, I've found the most success thus far by starting at the Burrows, then hitting Westec, and finally ending at Fisherside Prime in the neighboring overgrown Sundew Grove. You don't have to do the locations in that exact order, but those locations have had the best XP return so far. I've also been participating in any Surface to Air and Distant Thunder events that have popped up, as both are great sources for XP and help with breaking through the monotony of the grind. With Surface to Air, make sure to get at least one hit on every attacking Scorch Beast, as each is worth at least 500 XP and in some cases can bring in nearly 1000. For Distant Thunder, skip the recon scope and kill all of the Scorched yourself if at all possible, as you'll get substantially more XP. Tip 4. Don't purchase ranks until the end. Keeping up with the season can be a grueling task, and considering most of us have responsibilities outside of Fallout 76, it's inevitable that a majority of players will fall behind before the season is over with. If you fall into this group, all is not lost, as you will have the opportunity to purchase individual season ranks with items starting at the end of week 2, presumably meaning next Tuesday, July 13th. Ranks must be purchased sequentially, meaning that if you're at rank 27 and want to purchase rank 30, you'll need to buy ranks 28, 29, and 30. Keeping in mind the increased point requirements for each rank, I would highly recommend holding off on purchasing any ranks until the end of the season, getting as far as you can with awarded score points first. This will give you a lot more bang for your atom, as higher ranks would otherwise require substantially more time to complete when compared to the lower ranks that you'll be able to purchase 2 weeks in. For example, say at rank 33 you decided that you wanted to skip to rank 35. To do this, you'd pay 300 atoms to buy ranks 34 and 35. Given the amount of score points needed to complete these ranks through challenges, you'd basically be paying 300 atoms for 3,625 score points. Let's say instead, later on you wanted to jump from rank 98 to 100. You'd pay the same 300 atoms, but in this case would be buying much higher value ranks worth a total of 6,875 score points. That's nearly double the skip score points for the same price. It's also worth noting that you may find yourself much further along at the end of the season than you may have originally thought possible. Bonus XP and score events are planned to take place later on in the season, so you may end up not needing to purchase as many ranks, if any, to get to rank 100. Personally, my goal for the season is to get to around rank 94 through participation, and then buy the last 6 or so ranks with atoms. Considering that as of rank 90, players will have earned 1,350 atoms through seasonal play, or enough atoms to buy 9 ranks, you can actually get through the entire season without spending any real-world money, as long as you make a conscious effort to complete most of the challenges. That's it for today's video. I hope these tips help you get the most out of the Legendary run, and look forward to covering the season more in later videos. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified every time I post new content. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back later in the week with a video going through the new changes and features in Update 20. But until then, for the Enclave.